All right, I think the stream should be up actually now. We should be good to go. I don't know how to get your voice on the stream though.
I mean, let me pull it up. I'll probably be able to tell very quickly whether or not my voice is coming through. Uh, I'm not sure if you want to. Oh wait, I think we're on the wrong window. Also, I think you titled the stream wrong. It's not IQ versus PSR.
Mine says PSR versus HH. Does yours not?
Maybe it's just taking a bit to update. Currently, I'm watching an ad.
Okay.
No, I mean for like the Twitch stream itself. Like I understand in the coming up, it says PSR versus HH. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not getting any computer audio from the stream right now.
Okay. Hold on, I'll see if I can get it fixed.
Oh wait, no, I can hear myself. It's just a bit quiet, I think. But yeah, no, I am getting audio fine. It's just quiet.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's fine. That's good enough.
I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not know you were playing music.
It's the YouTube in the background. It's coming through on mine. All right. Hopefully the stream is good. Let's check Twitch. Yep. Twitch looks good. I'm streaming the stream in the stream. All right. So we got HH versus PSR. PSR so far undefeated. Well, I don't know about undefeated, but they've won all their series at least.
To my knowledge, they've dropped 2 games, possibly a third, depending on what happened in game 1.
All right. So we are actually, that's a good note. We are starting with game 2 today because I'm scum and I unfortunately arrived late. So we're starting with game 2, but we will watch party game 1 after, and potentially not until after game 3, depending on how the outcome goes. But we got HH over on blue side, PSR on red. So far, HH picking up Aatrox. Definitely that's going top for Toru, who has like 1.4 million mastery on Aatrox. It's some disgusting number like that. Um, Over on the PSR side, we see a Zyra Samira so far. No icon for Samira, but assuming that's a Samira lock-in.
It's a
Uh,
Samara lock, and I have the same glitch, but for Zyra. The one thing I will point out is Alawi has been banned. And not only has Alawi been banned, but they did not ban Aatrox in response to the Alawi ban, which tells me that this top laner has something cooking, and that could possibly be the
oh,
Olaf top
he's
laner.
very much cooking. Yep.
Now, I believe he does actually have, he being Zesty Queso. Zesty Queso does indeed have one other Olaf game in record, and he did win that game, so I'm wondering if he's going to continue showing that winning fashion.
And Alawi was a ban in response to game 1, where Zesty did play Alawi. So to be determined on how successful that was, but we'll see. All right. Looks like I don't know if I'm glitched or they're actually. Is PSR not getting bans? Do they have a sub this week?
No. So there are bans. So I see Malzahar Zareth from PSR, and we got Shyvana and then Huffer.
Huh. Let me try a refresh real quick. I'm getting a.
When in doubt.
Well, I got more of them now. I'm still missing a couple, but we're getting closer. All right, so we see the Skarner and Lilia banned out. The Lilia ban is.
No. Oh, no, from the first phase.
Yeah, from the first round. The Lilia ban is a very good choice. Vivian, well known for playing a lot of Lilia, and Lilia obviously being excellent into a lot of tanks, which seems to be very much meta with the new large patch we just had. So probably some good bans there. Looking like a Hui mid and assuming a Zyra support. Assuming this is not going to be a Trevor on Zyra. But I guess I've been wrong before.
I will say I do see a lot of disconnect with the drafting from PSR right now, which I guess is be expected with their playstyle. But because I see Samir and Olaf, and that screams dive, and then I
Yeah.
see Hui and like, no, please don't dive, and then they have a Zyra, which is please don't do anything.
Yeah, Zyra definitely a more, a disengage, you dive me type of champion. Definitely, like it is not a streamlined team that all has the same strategy, which is usually what we see in beer league. A lot of big meatball comps that all want to dive together. But thus far this season, PSR having a ton of success, mainly focusing on the split push. And when you are drafting for split push like that, I think a Zyra, a Hue, something that's more disengaged, you can throw a lot of range damage, a lot of fears, a lot of wave clear. I think that does kind of fit into the play style that they're going to go for. And interesting, hovering Nasus. You assume that's not real. It's got to be Zach that's going top lane.
Well, something to keep in mind. Okay, so I don't know who the jungler
I
is.
don't either. I'm like,
So
I don't.
let me elaborate. Let me elaborate. Their jungler Bakasaur has indeed played Tryndamere jungle before, so that is my initial expectation. However, both Olaf and Zyra can also play jungle. The only thing is I don't know who would go support unless the plan is Olaf mid Hue support, which is certainly a possibility, but not to be expected. So I am expecting this to be a Tryndamere jungle. Now, from the other side, we do find out where the Poppy is going. That's going Poppy support. I don't like that here. I think Poppy blind is not the right call.
Yeah, Poppy support is very strong in the meta right now, but I don't know if taking it in round one is the preferred method for me either.
Well, I don't have an issue with it if you pick it into an in-game support. Zyra famously has zero dashes at like most mages in the game.
Most mages,
Uh,
yeah. Not counting Silas or Fiddlesticks or the 87 champions with 11 dashes in the game nowadays, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, when you see Zyra, I don't think, yes, we must pick Poppy here. We must defend ADC. Poppy is the only choice. I would much rather see something like a Tahm Kench go through, even though I think that champion's completely terrible right now. But even then, I prefer to see a Tahm Kench with Aphelios. I'd also prefer to see a Braum, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Poppy does have the ability to shut down the Samira engage pretty well. And really, if the Poppy gets a wall stun off on either the Zyra or the Samira, they should have enough damage to have really good kill threat. So I definitely don't think it's terrible, but I probably wouldn't draft it super early myself. It looks like in the lineup, I'll throw this on screen real quick, even though we're going to have spectate delay for a while. It looks like in the lineup in the actual draft, and we can actually see all the bans now, which is also nice. It looks like it's going to be an Olaf top Tryndamere jungle is the current
Yeah.
plan. So Vivian on the Gwen, and really keys to victory this game, from my perspective, is going to be that Vivian needs to establish dominance in the jungle early.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a very dynamic matchup. I think the key thing to note is Gwen's W, the Mist, is not going to get much value this game. I think the only thing you're really going to be doing with that is dodging the Hue abilities, but I don't think that's necessarily why you should pick Gwen. And then if we're talking to the head-to-head, I do see a path to win that. My only concern is Gwen is very bursty and Tryndamere is very anti-burst.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm
does
not
definitely doesn't seem like a favorable matchup post six, unless Gwen has a significant lead. But the healing should help her extend the fight. I definitely would have liked to see again no flame on the Poppy pick, but into Olaf Tryndamere, Poppy's not going to be super impactful in my opinion. A more classic enchanter support that's going to do healing and shielding and help disengage, I think would be more value here. But
yeah.
that's just me. They do.
I think the key perspective though is this is a very dynamic draft in the sense that there's a lot of things going on and there's a lot of pieces moving. None of those pieces are necessarily good, but there are pieces.
Well, and it should be an exciting game. Last game, which we'll look at the end, we had a more team fight AOE style, kind of what I would call a classic beer league style matchup. Um, and so I think all of these players taking champions that don't necessarily work together in a really overt way. You know, they don't have a Galio Malphite, we're just stacking ults on top of each other kind of comp, will really make individual player skill and micro, I think, a lot more impactful this game. Whereas usually beer league is more on a macro perspective and teams working together. So It should be an exciting game for sure. I expect to see some big gold swings, probably one team snowballing out ahead, and then we'll see if they get too confident with that and just turbo feed shutdowns. But I both expect and hope for that. Assuming that PSR goes for kind of a classic split push play, Sivir, Tryndamere, Olaf, all very strong split pushers. Lots of wave clear from the Hui, Zyra, and Sivir as well. So, assuming we'll see prioritization on grubs, on Rift Heralds
Wait,
early over
wait,
dragons.
wait. Did you say Zipper?
Sivir has wave clear, yeah.
Wait, did they misclick?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sivir, but on the draft wall, I've got a Samira. Let me see if they. I can't see the chat at this point. I think the
Yeah,
Sam.
I can.
I think the Samira was a misclick and it was intended to be Sivir.
Okay. So let's perspective this game. So we have two very clearly independent split pushers between the Olaf and the Tryndamere. Those two are going to be sideline, and then we have a really strong disengage wave clear three man with Hui, Sivir, Zyra. Much more sense, very cohesive.
Yeah, makes a lot more sense than the Samira and makes that Poppy even more useless because now we've got spell shields on the ADC where they can block the Poppy engage, a ton of move speed without dashes. Yeah, I will say the swap from Samira to Sivir definitely makes this game look a lot better for PSR.
Yeah, and I will say, I personally don't get me wrong, I love Aphelios. I really want him to be good. Aphelios is terrible in this game. This is the worst Aphelios I've ever seen.
Yeah, it doesn't look particularly great here, and unfortunately, I don't see a lot of ways for HH to win fights other than having a champion that is incredibly big and snowballed and has a ton of damage. And I just don't expect an early gold lead from HH. So, unfortunately, I will say I will be calling early. I'm gonna lock in my prediction that this is a PSR game and a relatively short PSR game. But of course, Trevor busting out TP. I hope he gets punished immensely for it. I hope HH absolutely spanks him, but I don't expect it.
I'm sorry. How many games has this guy seen of Doki? Because it's not the strat. Speaking from the experience of playing with Doki.
I will say, heavily inclined to agree with you, but Trevor does make a lot better use of TP than Doki does. I definitely expect to see some deep ward lane TPs. But important to note, another distinction from game one, which we haven't watched yet, but game one he took the TP as well, but on a nocturne, where he did have a lot more ability to get access to fights. Expect him to be punished more this game for his lack of mobility, but it's still a Tryndamere. He's got spins every 5 seconds. It shouldn't be crazy impactful. But we've got an HH invade top side, a PSR invade bot side, and never the two shall meet, it looks like.
It does look like when and Aatrox are sticking around though, so we may still have a red buff steal. It does not look like anyone's going to check that, so that's just going to be the red buff taken away from the looks of it.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if Trevor makes the assumption because I don't think anyone from HH has actually been spotted yet. But it'll be interesting to see if Trevor just goes directly for a vertical jungle, just making the assumption that he's losing his red side. Doesn't look like
We'll
there's going to be any contestation. He should get the visual cue here when Aatrox walks up. Oh, Aatrox trying to do fancy feet and walk from the correct side of the lane to not give the play away. But we'll see what
yeah.
Trevor goes for. Torun
We
not
have
missing any CS.
Gwen doing a two camp.
Gwen
Interesting to note.
Gwen doing a two camp, which just seems not super efficient from a pathing perspective. If you're gonna take two, you might as well take three. But she may still do that. Just a little bit
Yeah.
odd to start the red.
Okay, they are committing to the three. This is just a really awkward pathing angle because this does give Tryndamere the ability to spot out the Gwen, and with the current mid lane state, depending on how fast this happens, she might get caught out. but it does look like they take the Raptors quick enough, and they're going back to their jungle unscathed.
Yeah,
Now,
and Gwen clears a lot better than the Tryndamere, and the Tryndamere clearing slowly and extremely unhealthily, as a Tryndamere jungle is going to do. Trevor does not know, does not go for the vertical jungle. He's going to see that his jungle is gone. He may immediately look for, okay, and Olaf or Tryndamere pinging that he's coming in top. He's trying to look for a gank here, but just losing a
oh,
lot of
this is
time.
so sad. This is so sad.
And Gwen will just
Because
clean up. Let's see what's going bot lane. Looks like we've got some trades here. Both ADCs teeing off on each other a bit. And a
so now we have
very, very
Jax
late
and
invade topside. Here we should see Vivian start to get... No, they're looking for it, but she's getting the back off. She will spot the Tryndamere. And he will cancel the TP, or the back, excuse me. Trevor's the one with TP. He's going to go pick up
yeah.
Wolves, but Vivian's going to get a reset into her red side where she's got all camps up.
I don't like this reset. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like you really could just go for the 9-3 camp and just force Tryndamere to live off the scuttle crabs.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know that she needs the back there. She could have just left either way, I think. I think probably sack Wolves there either way, because you're not going to get your top lane to come spend that much time dancing around with a Tryndamere.
yeah, because
Let's
you
see.
mentioned
What
Tryndamere
are...
giving up the scuttle here. So realistically, we're looking at Gwen getting 8 cams versus the Tryndamere getting 6. So it's a lot more even than it should have been. It's a lot more even than I was expecting, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel like that Gwen kind of threw that advantage they had.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the control to get our not gold showing on the screen, but just their items. But
X, click X.
that's what I thought. Oh man, thank you. Glad you're here
Oh,
with
we
me.
are having a fight break out.
Oh yeah, it.
Poppy's getting very,
Oh,
very low. He's
Poppy's
trying to
getting
sneak.
heavily collapsed on, using her dash to not get anyone in tower, and we'll get first blood onto Trevor on the Tryndamere. We do have Blitz Sprite coming on the back on the Echo, as well as Gwen coming around the side to try to clean up. Will they be able to make anything happen here? Doesn't look like it. Looks like PSR will get out relatively unscathed.
However, we do have a skirmish happening on the top side because someone got greedy for trying to proxy a wave.
Oh no. And Toru now tanking the entire wave. Zesty Queso just going to immediately ghost ignite. That ignite is running out. That ghost is running out. And Toru actually wins the trade and just leaves. And Zesty will actually lose a few minions into the tower there. And coming back to lane relatively unhealthy. Now
Yeah.
we do have Olaf healing to factor in, but Toru might just look for a straight 1v1 here. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, he wants it. Oh, he's flashing in, and this should be Zesty going down. Toru flexing the Aatrox muscles, gets the level 6 level up, and he will get to push this all the way into tower and get a nice gold advantage going top lane, as Zesty does not have TP.
Yeah,
Maybe he
no,
should
that
have...
is such a disrespectful play. Olaf just doesn't recognize the state of the matchup. He doesn't understand that he's at an XP differential there. Because, sure, Aatrox doesn't need to wait for 6, but he could wait for 6, and then that's a guaranteed kill under tower. Or
Yeah.
he just resets and gets a gold advantage since you can't reset since you don't have teleport. Unfortunately, Aatrox doesn't push fast enough to deny the wave, but overall, that's just a massive blunder from Queso.
Yeah. Yeah, not an awesome start, and unfortunately I think he just committed way too heavily, way too early on that engage in the jungle. Toru seemed to be in a disadvantageous position with the wave, uh, you know, auto attacking into him as well, but just the mobility on Aatrox and the ability to repeatedly knock up kind of denied that ghost from being impactful at all. And Poppy getting punished from range again, not having a good time playing into this Zyra. Rowdy Fan is down here throwing 9 Mile Long Hui. I don't even know what ability that is. W, E, could be anything. I think he pushes 6 buttons
QW.
for it.
QW.
Yep. Aphelios getting punished under the tower as PSR starts their first dragon of the game. Gwen is topside doing some more counter jungling. It looks like she will give that objective, but important to note, HH was able to secure the first three grubs of the game off of that topside play from Mr. Toru. So that's going to be a big advantage if they can even
Ooh.
just the first three grubs denying
Oh
PSR.
no, Queso, no.
Oh, and he is going to get immediately run down. He's going to hit the Olaf ult, but just going to lose the DPS battle here. And top lane is off to a rough start this game. Oh, and a Gwen flash. I don't know that that Gwen flash was totally necessary, but better to use it and not need it than not use it and need it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's just guaranteeing the thing. I don't think Gwen is going to need that flash for a while. I think bot lane you're just going to let suffer for now. Again, going back onto that Poppy getting poked out, I don't like the Poppy angle here. I feel like it's just too short range into too much long range. You see with Zyra Sivir Hui, that's very long range inherently, and you're playing a short range skirmisher.
Well, and not just the champion differential here, but Layla now has been sitting in this bush for 35 seconds. Lane opponent up only one level so far, but a significant XP advantage. Uh, this Poppy just wasting a lot of time so far is, I think, my bigger complaint. Obviously, it's not a great Poppy game. The champion doesn't really do well into a lot of this. May be able to punish Tryndamere later on, but not very impactful of a pick. And unfortunately, losing a lot of XP and gold to waiting to try to force ganks.
Yeah.
But the story of the game so far is really this top lane matchup. And if Zesty Queso is at a significant disadvantage here, where Aatrox can not only match but continue to win the lane and deny the split push, we might have a playable game for HH actually. I still think as we transition into the mid game, it's gonna swing the other direction, but I'd love to be wrong, and I've been wrong before. So
Yeah. Well, again, I think the biggest issue I have with blue side draft is I just don't see what this Poppy and Ophelos are going to do. Uh, However, they have such a good top side right now. I think they can kind of have the ability to just go even and deny the win con of the split pushing. And
yeah,
if they can
agreed.
do that, then I think they're in a good scenario.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Trevor now hovering topside. He was pinging a go in on Toru, but Toru playing well and just respecting the ability to get ganked right now. Not standing far forward with the wave for no results. Letting Zesty CS under tower. And he is rotating. We might see a play here mid. Echo Blitz Sprite on the Echo is getting a nice trade on Rowdy. And it looks like HH may be setting up for a dive here. Rowdy just Am I crazy, or did Rowdy just yeet a Hui ult into Raptor Pit? I'm pretty sure that's what we just witnessed. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, that was an ability usage. I'm
That
guessing that's just going to be oops, misclick moment.
I
What,
think
what you want to see, though?
I think he may have spotted that Aatrox for a moment and thought he was going to walk into that Raptor Pit, but definitely a bit of a confusing one. Gwen now taking grubs unmolested. And we do have another minute and a half on Dragon Spawn. So HH will have the ability to contest this second dragon of the game if they want to as well. If they can go 6 grubs and start getting some dragons to deny that dragon stack to PSR, this could be a game for them for sure.
Yeah,
Poppy
well,
running
I
around the
think
back looking for a gank, but Rowdy fan respecting that he is a squishy mage, backing off.
yeah. Well, I think the key thing to realize right now is that PSR is known for split pushing. That is their specialty. They split push
Oh.
until the day is done.
And it
They will
looks like we're
bust
going to
these
see a
grubs.
nice tower dive here, bot lane as well.
Yeah,
Poppy still doing a lot of hovering, not a lot of movement, and a big tower dive bot lane. They don't quite finish the Aphelios, and Trevor's running out. Looks like he says, y'all don't need me for this, just keep denying him. And Natsuyuki is going to really struggle to try to get any of this wave under tower as PSR just has so much range and so much ability to poke him out and deny him. They're going to completely deny him off the wave now while they just continue to stack those plates. And
yeah. I think the key thing to realize though is PSR was not playing for bot lane. They were playing for top lane. They killed Olaf under tower and denied him everything. They forced that Hui teleport top lane, and they will redive bot lane though, and finally secure the Aphelios.
Yeah, and a fair point. Olaf is definitely getting punished in this game. Oh, but a huge shutdown. I'm sorry. Let me get that one back because I totally missed it. But Toru in the top lane while we were having that dive bot. Oh, disrespecting the Hui, stepping directly up into the ult and just gets completely comboed under tower. So that's a big shutdown for Rowdy Fan. Do a lot to equalize the gold. Uh, we did get that.
Decent engagement bot lane, but Pod was able to just ulti away everyone else. Trinidor ultied while at full HP, which is a take of all time.
Oh, and I missed it. Should I take it back again?
No one died, so I don't think you should, especially since we have Dragon currently happening. It looks like
Oh, there's the
it will
Poppy
be
ult.
obscured.
Yep, and my back is
So looking at
sore.
the Dragon.
Starting the dragon. HH making the decision to sack it. Their jungler moving to top side, still going to look to farm, pinging that she's going to go invade. I don't know that she has enough time to invade while they're taking this dragon, but maybe. PSR down here finishing off the dragon, relatively uncontested. Zesty Keisto has transitioned to mid lane. Now he's running back towards top. Gwen is in the jungle. She's taking raptors, transitioning to red, walking very, very close to this Olaf, but not seeing each other until he's spotted on the ward. Vivian will start the red buff. Toru says, I'm up a level. Oh, 2 levels, but now only one after the initial trade. Olaf forced to ult, though, and Olaf will be in a very, very diveable position now. We do see Poppy and Gwen coming up. The TP in from Echo. He's going to look to collapse on mid lane, and we're going to transition to top. We will see PSR TP top, but not in time to do anything. Oh, a double TP top as Sivir and Zyra are going to run in,
Wait a second,
but
I'm
to
not sure
no
where Zyra
avail.
is.
What's
The
that?
only person without teleport on red side
Is
is
their top
Zyra.
laner. Yep.
What?
He's going to split push. He'll already be in the lane that needs to be teleported to. It's the plan. Toru now
Dude, like,
defending under
I feel
tower.
like everyone is throwing.
Yeah, it's
Aatrox is teleporting top lane for a flank angle.
are you ahead of me in the
Yes,
game
because
now?
you went back 15 seconds.
Are you watching the live stream or are you watching the Twitch stream?
I'm watching the actual. I'm live spectating.
Oh, don't do that. You're gonna be off time on me. Watch the stream at the same time.
If I watch the stream, I'm also going to be delayed like 2 to 3 seconds.
That's true. Well, I reverse when there's a good play, so be ready for that.
Yeah, I usually
Toru
reverse
with
and
the
just
TP
hit
top.
spam plus and then catch up to live when we're in a double state.
All right. Uh, Toru TP's in, cleans up the Zyra relatively easily. HH has got 4 people collapsing on this Rift Herald. They do have the 6 grubs as well, so this will be a juicy Herald for them. They'll look to push and get the advantage. Oh, but Zesty Queso looking for an engaged bot lane. Looks like nothing is doing for now. All right. Spam
Darling Tower
plus.
does fall.
All right. We'll fast forward our 15 seconds until we're back to where we started. All right. Now we're caught up. All right. Nothing doing right now. Seeing some resets. PSR still up 2 dragons, but 2 dragons versus 6 grubs and a Rift Herald, so fairly even as far as jungle objectives go. Maybe even a slight advantage for HH in this one. We do have
Yeah.
Dragon coming up in a minute 40. Blitz Sprite will be caught out on the ward. PSR
Yeah.
bot lane just wave clearing, doing their thing.
Yeah. And I think the important things to note is right now, PSR is very spread out for their gold income. It's roughly 500 from jungle to bot in their lead. Meanwhile, there's a 2,000 gold lead difference top lane, right? Uh, HH has a very clear win condition. They need to play for their Aatrox. Meanwhile, everyone else needs to just avoid Aatrox at all costs.
Yeah, and that is exactly the reason why I would like to see Aatrox bot right now. He does not have TP up for another more than a minute, and Natsuyuki is going to go down to the Unga Bunga of a Tryndamere Olaf. A
Oh
full
god.
engage from Vivian onto this Tryndamere, but he says, I'm a Tryndamere and I can press R. Poppy stuck in there by herself now. They are able to
We're burning
finish.
all of our resources on a Tryndamere mid ulti. I mean, they do get away with it, but
They
they could have
do
very
get
much
away
killed
with it,
Olaf.
and the Tryndamere does go down, which means that the PSR jungler will be down right about Baron spawn, but HH chunked, so they're all going to have to reset and then run back to that dragon. Sorry, dragon
Yeah.
spawn, not Baron spawn. Aatrox has transitioned down. He's covering mid lane. Looks like Echo's running top, and Echo does have TP up, so this is the play we want to see from HH. They
Yeah.
need to immediately rush to position on this dragon as Tryndamere just respawned and is up as well. He will not have ultimate for this fight. He may just TP back in though.
It
He
does
does
look
have
like
TP
HH
up.
is more prioritizing the tower than they are the actual objective
Oh,
because
and
Aatrox has
Aatrox
Someone's Rift.
rifting in by himself. Rift will get exploded, but they will get the tower. Olaf
I will
threatening
say, really
bot
good
side.
pressure point. That is a good pressure point. For some reason, Sivir is resetting right now. I don't know
Yeah,
if they
Sivir
just.
recalling, low mana but full health. And HH needs to fully commit to this dragon and just take it right now. They are starting it, but Sivir is immediately TPing back in. Olaf is on the flank, but they are not going to get there in time to contest the dragon. Blitz Sprite teleporting back to mid, and so we will have some ARAM action going right now. Hui is topside getting the split push. Cancels his back to hold some pressure top, which is a nice play. It'll force Echo to respond. And now we're just doing some posturing. It looks like we may see another 1v1 bot. Eh, to be determined. Both
Yeah, it
happy
looks
to
like
just.
Aatrox is going to play it a bit cool right now. While he is a hub ahead in gold, he did lose, like you said, the 2 level lead a while ago. Oh, okay, we're just throwing out the Hui ultis for fun of it, looks like.
Did I just miss another one?
Yes, yes, you did.
Alright. Crazy
He
Hui
just threw it in
ultis.
the middle of lane doing nothing.
Fair enough. Probably not
Just
the
needed
most
him to
ideal
get on
play.
the screen.
HH hex flashing and dashing over the wall, running into PSR jungle looking for a catch. Sivir nearby picks up the red buff. Tryndamere hovering mid, looking for a dive. He will easily clean up this tower. Natsuyuki needs to not be there.
But we do have the 3-man top
But
lane close by
HR,
from Hui.
oh, HH looking for an engaged topside, but the Hui fear is enough to push him off. He's now
The
gonna,
flash does force that at least. Meanwhile, we get the salty run back bot lane.
and Zyra stepping up,
Yeah,
watching
wow.
Poppy reset. PSR threatening mid tower and bot tower a little bit. Zesty gonna hang out, wait for that Aatrox reset, and we'll just start chopping away at this tower. Natsuyuki is unable to step up into jungle here as there's a Tryndamere. Echo and Poppy on the flank looking to collapse, but Echo is going to be the first one collapsed on in this case. Oh, we've got a ton of TPs coming in. Toru TPs in first. Gwen
There are
chasing
4
Briar's
different
cute
fights
feet on
occurring
the
at the same
flank.
point in time.
So PSR ADC is down, but HH ADC may be next as well. Echo chasing down the Zyra. Looks like Aphelios also running at the Zyra. Does survive. Rowdy Fan on the back trying to take down the Gwen, but Gwen is in fact immune. HH winning that fight pretty steadily and moving away from Dragon Pit. Dragon's not up for another 2.5 minutes. Looks like they're going to try to start this Baron immediately. Blitz Sprite has no mana and half health. Vivian has a third health. Natsuyuki has 200 HP. Rowdy Fan in the back line, very confident because they're so low, and he's going to face check into all three of them. Will he get any of them? Not quite. He saw the triple kill, but alas, it was only a solo.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. There were 4 fights taking place at the same time. 4 different people were taking 1v1s,
Yeah.
and somehow HH takes all of them and wins all of them.
Wins all of the
So
fights by a very slim margin on every single one. Every single one
I
of
will
them
say
had 400 or less HP after that.
there is one massive blunder that actually took place there that most people won't understand. Aphelios has messed up his gun order. He will be screwed for the next 5 minutes. See how he has blue white? You never want to have blue white. He has messed up his gun order dramatically. We'll see if he can recover it.
Yeah, I am not an Aphelios enjoyer, and I don't even pretend to know how anything that guy does works, but excellent, excellent cast input from someone who knows what the fuck Aphelios does.
So the key thing about Aphelios is there is a specific gun order you want. There's like if you just go as predetermined by
Oh, and we're gonna
Olaf,
see a big fight here. Echo's gonna lead with the ultimate as he face checks into a Trundamere Olaf. Now we've
so
got
not too
Poppy
bad.
collapsing on the back. Oh, they've got the Echo stun down. This may be a big play for HH. The Tryndamere ultimate and Olaf ultimates are already out. PSR is teleporting in, and
Wait,
they will full disengage. So they did get Tryndamere and Olaf ults in exchange for an Echo ult there. Nothing major used except for we did have a teleport from the PSR side. When you're sitting on 4 teleports, though, maybe not the biggest deal in the world.
Olaf was forced to go, so in the end, it's really just ultimates for Ghost and Teleport, which you're gonna take, but it's not the biggest thing. We did have a trade of ultimates topside as well, but again, nothing really happened. For Felius, the key thing to keep in mind is the default gun order is bad. The main giveaway for that is red purple. Red purple is a terrible combo, and you want to avoid that all
Oh, and
costs.
Poppy flashing in to get the stun, and we should see Olaf get one shot here. Goes down immediately right before the dragon spawn. Dragon coming up in
Yeah,
5 seconds
very
now.
good catch out.
PSR is not in position, and this should be an immediate dragon take, but their jungler, or an immediate dragon take for HH, excuse me. Their jungler is trying to rush Baron again instead. So we've got,
Sivir did just reset, but does not have teleport this time. That is important to note. Tryndamere is meanwhile wave clearing bot lane, so I think they aren't even gonna take a look at this. So this is gonna be the dragon take. Why are they okay?
yeah,
Why are
there's
they
some
stalling dragon?
weird stuff going on here. Weird stuff. Tryndamere doing some pushing and CSing bot. We've got the support and mid laner for HH taking the dragon while Gwen runs around the map. She's taking a look at Baron. Now she's hovering mid. But HH able to take the drag, so we'll equalize the dragon lead. 2 for each. HH now in a pretty good spot, but they are not even up 1,000 gold after all of this. They're up by 7 kills, but gold is almost exactly dead even.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest. This has just been a comedy of errors for everything, as far as I'm concerned. This has just been a weird game.
Been a very, very weird game, yeah. Which, is fun. I like to see the
Very fun.
inconsistency.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. Let's
One
take a
second.
look at
Fellas.
gold
Oh,
differences.
no, he's picked gun order.
On
What?
Echo's looking for an engage right here on Rowdy Fan. Just running him down all over the place, soaking all of the Hui abilities. He does ult. Oh, I'm going to have to tap away from this one. We got another fight breaking out topside as well. Echo able to finish off the Hui. Now PSR considering an engage on HH, but we're all just going to posture around Baron. Echo now will get to split push bot, but he is still on T1 in bot lane. Not not getting towers pressured nearly as much on the HH side, even with Grub's Rift Herald
Yeah, and I would like
advantage.
to call attention to Aphelios once again. Remember how I said what you want to avoid at all possible is red purple?
No, you said blue white.
No, no, he had blue white. I just said that was him messing up the gun order.
Oh, because it's
It
going to
is
give
blue
him
white,
red purple,
which, as you can see, he currently has.
which is bad.
Yes.
Okay.
So the dragon gun order is very, very simple. It does require a bit of micro in the early game,
And
but
we're
it
going
is
to see
very
a
simple.
collapse on Echo here. Echo immediately teleporting out because the Tryndamere has no CC to stop him. He teleports back to mid to safety. Meanwhile, his teammates on HH are immediately starting the Baron. But
I love
we'll
this
see the
call.
famous
Blue white.
jungler TP. And Trevor's going to look for the steal here. He's sprinting into
Oh my.
pit. Poppy has ult, but will she get it? And he walks straight in, smites the Baron, runs out of the pit. We should see Olaf go down here.
Why?
But
Why?
absolutely zero moves to contest. Trevor just walking into the pit and pressing smite and
Why
taking
are
the
we
Baron.
picking Poppy if we are not going to use the sole reason you picked Poppy?
Yeah, and unfortunately, we see quite a bit of this in Ye Olde Beer League. If we're gonna, This should not have been a 50-50 Baron, but because of the TP on the Tryndamere, it was a 50-50 Baron, and we did not see a single member of HH move to CC, DPS, or in any way try to block the Tryndamere. And he walks directly into the pit, smites the Baron, hits ultimate, and just walks away. We did see Olaf go down, but I think a 3 and 7 Olaf for a Baron steal is probably worth it if you're on the side of PSR here.
Quaid does misstep and give over another kill and a Baron's. That is impactful. I am once again very confused by what this Aphelios is doing with his guns. Uh, I'm just confused by what he's doing with his guns. That's all there is to it.
I'm sure that I would be confused with you if I had any idea what they did, but
Okay, so broad perspective, this is what you want the green order to be: red, white, green, purple, blue, red. That is the order you want. If you don't have that order, you messed up. Now he does have red, white now, so please tell me that his next gun is green. Otherwise, I'm going to kill this man.
and Chemtech Drake will be spawning here in about 45 seconds. Olaf is pressuring topside, but of course Olaf the only person on PSR without TP, so we will expect him to be rotating hopefully immediately after clearing this wave. He is going to be late to dragon position already as it's spawning in 30 seconds, but both teams here actually late to the dragon as they have the option of stepping up, but no one seems to have any interest in doing so. We do have a lot of defensive wards from PSR as well as one in the pit. HH has some defensively in the jungle that have already been marked by the PSR side. HH looking to collapse on this Hui mid. Echo engaging over the wall. And we should see a nice burst here. Hui should go down immediately.
That's a beautiful stun from the Echo, and it forces the Hui ulti very
Sivir
nicely.
on the flank hits the ultimate. Is trying to disengage. We do have Olaf coming around the backside. Echo still has ult. They're going to catch out the Zyra next, and she's going to be Red Plant launched into the entire HH team. Toru now with a very late TP, and it looks like Trevor on PSR is just taking that free stolen Baron, using it to create pressure bot lane. Two members of HH responding, and now the remaining HH team is going to be absolutely caught out. Trevor gets a bunch of free kills, and well, just the one so far, but we'll see what else gets taken. And PSR taking the dragon without a jungler as all of HH moves to respond to the split push bot, and Gwen gets caught out and killed in the pit.
What is this game?
This is certainly some shenanigans and or possibly tomfoolery.
Okay.
And
Let me
unfortunately,
fix gun order. Aphelios did fix gun order,
okay.
I believe.
Aphelios guns are in the right color spectrum as we anticipate. But PSR taking a third drag despite being down almost double their kills just because they see the scary split push bot from the free dragon or free baron they gave away. And multiple members of HH going to respond to protect that inhibitor. And Trevor gets to walk away, get some cleanup while his team takes the Drake. Definitely a game that could still go either way. PSR now down 8 kills, but up 1,500 gold despite that difference. So,
Well, I think a key thing to realize right now is when we're talking about that early game laning phase, Aphelios was a thing behind. Meanwhile, we have Gwen about to get another kill onto the Zyra. Zyra
oh,
misses the
Zyra
meteor.
jumps out on the plant, makes it with just the tiniest sliver of HP, and now Rowdy fans on the back cleans up Vivian. Poppy probably going to go down here as well as she runs in to try to clean it up. She's throwing a helicopter ult, but decides not to use it. The luckiest Zyra in the world makes it out with must have been 10 health there. But now we have Olaf splitting bot, creating pressure, Tryndamere splitting top, creating pressure, and HH just slowly losing the war of attrition as they continue to try to rotate to defend lanes and, take very, very greedy jungle dives. Tryndamere now looking for an engage. He will run directly into the Poppy, but Poppy does absolutely nothing to protect this ADC, and Tryndamere just walks it down, kills the ADC, hits ult, and walks away with 100 health. Oh, and that is just a heartbreaker. This Poppy pick for HH is really not working out. Toru and Blitzsprite now collapsing. They will clean up the Hui after the fact. So it is a one for one, but Natsuyuki is probably has some choice words for their support at this point in the game, as that was pretty rough to watch. Blitzsprite forced to ult out as it cannot engage into the disengage of this Sivir, and Zyra and Olaf stepping up to defend. Poppy looking for Baron wards, but PSR has quite a few wards in the pit as well. Tryndamere again able to split push as his TP is back up, and he's probably feeling very confident at this point about allowing HH to leash him another Baron. I think he welcomes it.
Gonna be honest, that was pretty troll from the support. I would definitely be reporting them after the game if that was me. Uh, Once again, we're seeing why Pup is not really the pick here, as you were saying. What I was going to say before that happened is Ophelio's laning phase wise, they were the weak side. They were the ones suffering from all the plays, and they were being put behind. However, with the way this game's been panning out, they actually got a lot of the gold, and they're actually much farther ahead than you would think they would be until that happened, and they just died.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Natsuyuki is still very squishy and very collapsible for this PSR team that has a lot of dive. Gwen, again, full engaging on the Zyra. It will work out this time as the Poppy is there to land some CC. And
Yeah, nice
now
last glance.
we will see Hui go down as well as our level 18 Aatrox on Toru immediately starts messing him up. Toru trying to reset as he sees the split push bot from Tryndamere.
Nice
Olaf and
teleport.
Sivir
Nice
stepping
teleport.
up, but the Tryndamere TP needs to start like right now. Oh, it's going to be too late. And this time, HH actually will take the Baron, and we will see Aatrox teleport immediately to stop the split push from My Back is Sore or Trevor. Toru
Does not save the
easily
tower.
winning the fight, but he does not save the tower. Doesn't look like he's going to chase here, but PSR notably is down Hui for another 10 seconds. We do have drag spawning in almost the exact same time frame. HH moving relatively together for the first time, actually, to go get on this dragon. Toru gonna get jumped by this excuse me, Toru gonna get jumped by Trevor in the jungle, and winning the fight pretty well. Gets the ult out of this Tryndamere. Oh, and immediately as the ult expires, Blitz Sprite with the rocket belt ready to jump in and burst. And so this should be a dragon for HH, but current state they seem more interested in chasing. They are going to prioritize the Zyra that they can melt quickly. Nice to see that. And they'll clean up the Olaf as well, actually. Now they're going to move into Dragon, but PSR recognizing that they're getting dumped on now, looking to create tower pressure. Toru going to stop them, and he should be able to, but he does not quite have ult up yet. PSR respecting Aatrox is pretty big. They're going to start running away immediately, but the rest of HH is looking for a long collapse here. Poppy running around the outside, Glenn running over the top. They will go through some wards, so PSR will have vision, and they do have a Sivir ult, but they are able to get the Poppy stun on Hui, and we'll see Hui go down. Sivir having to take the long way is definitely going to run directly into this Gwen, but she has TP. And Poppy does not have a dash back up, so Sivir will successfully TP out. Meanwhile, Trevor, my back is sore, running back to mid lane. And this is just the fiesta of fiestas. He will get full engaged on, multi CC'd, he'll get to ult, but is going to get cleaned up in the end either way. And HH just really needs to get a big push here and put this game to bed.
Why?
What an absolute fiesta from both sides, all over the
Why?
place. Incredible playmaking, incredibly bad playmaking sometimes. It's been a mixed bag across the board. We do have a
Why?
ward. I want to point out we do have a ward right next to that down inhib for the PSR side in the HH base. The only one with TP up right now is Rowdy Fan, who is not going to be their best split pusher. But we do have the potential for some backdoor action. Hui right now just
They're
focusing
literally
on
gonna
wave
have their
clearing.
champion as Tryndamere because Olaf doesn't have teleport.
Yep, that is true. But they are doing a pretty good job wave clearing, even through the Baron. They do have that Hui Sivir that's going to do a lot of wave clear. That Baron expiring for HH right now. HH backing up, still not even able to get an inhib, but they are getting a decent gold advantage now, right around 3k gold advantage currently.
Yeah, so this is a game.
This is a
I will
game.
point out that the Tryndamere does in fact have Demolish for this split pushing for some reason. Couldn't figure out that reason.
Tryndamere is locked into his game plan for sure, as Trevor always is. He always has a plan. It may not be a good plan, but he does have one. And he's popping vision, running bot, looking to split push, looking to get a second inhib for his team. Blitz Sprite out here on the flank. And there's been so much Fiesta action here that we haven't really given a lot of attention to it. But I do want to call out Blitz Sprite with a perfect game on Echo, 7-0 and 5. Great CS. Just being patient, looking for picks when he can get them. Not doing anything crazy.
Yeah. No. Blitzkrieg is doing his job of being a normal human being in this game. Somehow, I thought that would have been not an achievement, but so far he is the only person in the lobby of 10 that is a normal human being.
Yep.
So congrats to him.
Well, and I think Toru, for the most part, being pretty normal too, doing his Aatrox things. 6-1 and 10. He's definitely had a huge impact this game, keeping this game alive. But the KDA does not tell the story, as definitely KDA is impactful on the HH side, but the tower push is what we're looking for PSR. So hard to say who's really winning, even though HH is up a little bit of gold right now. We will
I know
have
who's really winning. Us and the audience.
us and the audience is the correct answer. I'm with you on that one, man. We do have Dragon coming up in about a minute and 20 seconds now. This will be Dragon Soul for whichever team gets it, as we have 3 drags on each side.
Wait, why does the Aatrox have Trinity Force?
Uh, you know, I'm gonna say it's probably not for the mana. I think he's just looking for as much skirmishing potential as possible here. And Sheen,
Not good. It's not good on Aatrox. Do you know what's objectively better?
probably a lot of AD items that don't have mana on them would be my
Well,
guess.
one Trinity Force had the mana removed, but
Oh, well, look at that. Then it's even less silly than I thought.
that is true. But it is still one of the not so good items. I would prefer basically every other AD item. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
Another
fair
thing
enough.
that's a question mark thing for itemization is why does
Oh
Aphelios
no.
not
And
block?
HH
What are we doing?
trying to collapse and get a gank here. But PSR says call the ambulance, but not for me. Oh
Why?
no. And HH's jungler, Vivian Dessou, and support Layla on the Poppy look for a pick on PSR, but unfortunately, they're doing a 2-man pick into a 5-man stack. And PSR immediately cleans them up. Will take the Baron now and should get Dragon Soul for free. And that one should put the game away. Up 11 kills. We probably just witnessed HH lose this game, would be my guess. PSR immediately pinging the dragon, rotating his 5. Olaf gets a quick reset, but they will be able to fully kill the dragon and take Dragon Soul before HH's Vivian is even back alive again.
I'm gonna point
And
out that only 2 of the people have a positive KD.
yeah.
The worst part is that number changes to 3 if you go 3 KDA. If you combine both kills and assists, only 3 people are positive.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely KDA is not the advantage for this PSR team, but they seem to be in a commanding position to win. The gold differential now only 500 gold to the side of PSR, despite being down 11 kills. But they do have Dragon Soul and Baron. That being said, I myself was very much able to lose a game with Dragon Soul, Elder, and Baron last season, so it is still doable, but only if you really commit to the mistakes. Vivian looking to trade into this Tryndamere, immediately having to pop Zonia's, and now Tryndamere will get to double kill
Why?
both Gwen and Echo, and that will be the game. Regardless of whatever's happening up here, that's definitely the game. Yeah. And
Why?
those were definitely some of the throws of all time, and PSR will win game two.
I'd just like to point out, I think no one here played well, except for maybe the Echo and the Aatrox. I think everyone else was trolling at every single point in time, and somehow we got here.
You know, I will. I'll try to not be quite so scathing. It was an interesting game. It's fun to watch. A lot of craziness happening, but I think it's also important to keep in mind. You know, when the craziest is being done onto you, when you see the team with four TPs and just silliness going on constantly, it can throw you off your game quite a bit as well. So I definitely feel for HH. I know how it goes. That's kind of the Trevor special is do weird shit that people don't expect. So, in this case, I think 4 TPs for the ninth time this season is starting to get a little bit expected, but clearly HH did not have a game plan to deal with it. So, with that being said, I'm going to pause cast for a minute. I'll probably just let it run, but I need to figure out how to get us into game one real quick. So,
Yeah,
we will transition to game one.
they betrayed me. There's no, I don't get my third.
We don't know yet. You could get a third game here. We don't know how game one goes. Wink.
Yeah, 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 true, true. I have no idea what happened game one. No one's in the general call right now.
All right, let me see if I can get to game one. Uh
You
oh.
want my match history, Jeff?
Okay, that's where I'm at. Can I just open these
Yeah,
games?
you can just open it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can
You
download
should be
it.
able to download it and open it.
All right, excellent. We will do that.
Start casting.
You don't have the draft from game one, do you?
It should be in watch party. Yeah, in the watch party. Text chat.
Uh,
Bozo. Come on, don't you know what this
Okay.
is over there, Jeff?
Yeah, I did know that. Cool, thanks. All right. Uh, you suck. You're bad at the
also,
game. Get out of here.
wait, wait, wait. Question.
Now,
Jesse, quick question for the casting
live
form.
interview here. All right, what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
yeah. Where it says caster, please submit a form. Do I put my name or the team?
I think there's a section for your name and the team you want to dedicate it to.
Yes, that's correct.
I think there's two parts.
You'll put both on there.
Okay.
Zach, are you gonna join us for the watch party of game one or what?
I don't know if I'm a lot. I mean, it's not against the rules, but
Why not? It already happened.
I would. Dude, do you think I knew what I was doing? You guys will know what I'm doing better
No,
than I
I
do.
watched game two. I know you don't know what you're doing.
Inter alert. Hello.
All right.
Alright.
We will
Yeah.
go ahead and get started with the reverse order. We'll be watching game one second. So here is game one from HH versus PSR. HH on blue side. Should have the draft live on screen right now. Yeah, good to go. All right, so we do see round one bans Skarner, Lilia, Victor from PSR. Again, Skarner, Lilia prioritization. Try to keep Vivian off of those really heavily impactful champions. HH banning out Darius, Kha'Zix, and Wukong. Apparently, that's what they were worried about. Round two, banning out Shyvana, Diana. So we see 4 bans targeted towards. I assume the Wukong is targeted towards Trevor as well. I don't think Zach plays a whole lot of Wukong, but 4 bans going towards Trevor, which is the 6 point jungler from PSR. So to be expected, but seems a little bit overzealous to me. PSR bans out Jarvan and Xerath in round two. The draft, we've got Aatrox, Seraphine, Camille on the side of HH, and a Sejuani Talia rounding it out. So that should be a Talia mid lane. It's definitely Aatrox top. Toru famously plays a lot of Aatrox. What's up?
Yeah, alright, yeah. I forgot what they were doing in the bot lane for a second.
Yeah, and it should be actually a Seraphine ADC would be my guess, as Camille support is
No,
relatively.
I think it's a Sejuani support. I think.
Okay, well, we'll take a look here in just a second and we'll find out.
Eh,
Um,
It's probably a Camille mid for all. I'm guessing it's Camille mid Talia jungle.
I don't believe that Vivian plays a lot of Talia, but we'll take a look in just a second. Sivir, Alawi, Galio, Nocturne, Hui on the side of PSR. So that's going to be an Alawi top lane for Zesty Queso, getting to work on that split pushing. We'll see if he thinks, clearly not banning the Aatrox, thinks he can take the matchup. Toru, famously an Aatrox one trick. Looks like we'll see Nocturne in the jungle for Mr. Trevor. Most likely a Hui mid. Could be also a Galio mid, but I would expect a Hui mid, as that's what Rowdy likes to play. And then we would expect a Galio support with a Sivir ADC. So, that being said, let's go ahead and launch the game. See what we actually get, and we'll see if we're correct about our little assumptions here.
Yeah, well, I just remember looking at them, and I remember they had a Sejuani support team, so I'm wondering if they're running that
Oh,
back.
and let me edit these real quick. So, we will have PSR on red side, HH on blue side.
I think you loaded the wrong game.
Oh, yes, I did. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Back that
Yeah.
up. That was game 2 again. One moment. Sorry, I'm changing team names at the same time. Excuse me. All right. There we go. PSR leading the series with 1 win so far. We already watched game 2. And get us back to match history here. All right, here we go. Now we're loading for real.
This is quite the stream. I feel like we should be hired for professional streams. LCS, LEC, you hired?
I believe I'm entitled to at least $1.50 worth of compensation, so we'll see. But yeah, as expected, it's a Galio support. We will see Sejuani in the jungle for HH with an Aurelia with oh god, what's the name of that rune?
Hail Blades?
Hail of Blades, thank you. Uh, Hail of Blades Aurelia support,
Camille support.
or Camille support, excuse me. Man, I should learn the names of the champions too while I'm at it. Alright, and it looks like PSR primarily going for a 5 stack here. HH seems to be doing approximately the same thing. Will be a Talia mid, Seraphine ADC on the side of HH. So some good wave clear, some good disengage, some good ability to potentially generate picks with this Aurelia if she gets ahead. Um, I don't know. No offense. I'm not an Elo slave or anything. But I don't know that I would put one of the lower rated point values on my team on an aggressive assassin non-standard support like Camille. I don't think we're going to see the most excellent micro that I've ever seen in my life from Layla. So, but hey, I'm ready to be surprised. So let's take a look. Oh, and I better hide this time bar because it has objectives marked on it. So let's go through strats real quick. Let's go through matchups. We've got Alawi into Aatrox in the top lane. Toru, a very experienced Aatrox, but Alawi, just kind of a lane bully of a champion, usually is just going to be pushing through these waves, hard split pushing regardless of KDA. So, regardless of whether Aatrox wins the 1v1, expect to see Alawi generating a lot of pressure in the top side of the map. In the jungle matchup, we have Trevor, My Back is Sore, on the Nocturne versus Swedjwani from Vivian Dessou. Vivian, one of the highest ranked or highest point members of HH. And personally, this is what I really don't want to see. The PSR did throw a lot of bans Vivian's way, but Vivian extremely impactful on champions like Lilia that can generate a lot of damage as well as making plays and having some utility. Um, Vivian does like to play Sejuani a bit, but generally gets a lot less success on Sejuani than some more high damage generation champions. So I'm not loving that on the side of HH. I don't know what options they really had to play with, as they did throw a few bans towards Vivian. Sejuani doing a 3 camp and looking for an early gank bot. They will get the engage from the Camille, and they may be able to finish off this Sivir. Yep, and they will get first blood down here, and looks like a second blood as well. So far, a great start from HH. That Camille being very impactful, generating some playmaking value already. Vivian will be late, but gets to just reset, go topside. Nocturne clearing red to blue as well, so he will just finish off his Gromp and won't be able to invade or get anything like that going. But Vivian will be a little bit behind on the jungle side, but generating 2 kills early for the side of HH. Mid lane matchups, we've got Blitz Sprite on the Talia against Rowdy Fan on Hui. Rowdy's been playing a lot of Hui this season, particularly in Beer League. Has a lot of wave clear. He's very comfortable on it. We do tend to see quite a bit of picks later on in the game as people, move and collapse on him. But we'll see how it shakes out this time. Sergeant of Mithril for PSR, their support is on the Galio. A great pick, and I think Galio support actually has a pretty bonkers win rate right now. Right now, a lot of tanks are doing very well, but Galio always a good pick in Beer League, as the ability to collapse near globally into team fights is extremely valuable, especially when you have one of your highest point value people that's most likely to snowball and get ahead on this Nocturne. HH looking for a gank topside again. Camille will just barely miss the engage as Zesty Queso is forced to flash away on Aurelia. The rest of PSR is coming in from the back here, looking a little aggressive in Tribush behind the tier 1. Probably not going to get anything there. Um,
Yeah, I
but
think
this
it's just typical
Seraphine,
Camille mechanics, which you're kind of foreshadowing with them being a low point value. And what it looked like is they did a flash into an E. What you really want to do is you want to do this E2 and then flash on top of it. Think of like the famous Jarvan EQ flash. It's the
yeah.
same thing for Camille. It works just the same. It's just a bit more precise for the micro, but they don't know how to do it, so they fucked it up.
Yeah, and if that had gone a little bit better, we would have seen Alawi go down. HH would have been in a 2v3, probably would have got some tower plates. But early in the game, trying to get a lot of value out of the Camille, I don't blame it. Seraphine pretty easily just wave clearing bot, so slight CS advantage to the Sivir, but this Seraphine does have a whole wave to farm right here, so expect to see that pretty equalized. Overall, I think HH played the play relatively well, other than just slightly missing the engage with the Camille. But I do expect PSR to do very well this game. I think the Galio ult on top of the Nocturne ult is going to be very impactful, and I just don't think that HH is going to be able to deal with the team fight, as Toru is going to have to continuously match this Alawi. And we already see a gank on the Alawi, some kill pressure, trying to get fights. Toru taking the 1v1 engage right here, but my Bacchusaur is hovering nearby, does not have ult yet. Toru disengaging as his ult falls off, not quite able to finish off Zesty Case on the Alawi. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot of this game, is Toru not having quite enough to be able to just fully commit to the 1v1. Sejuani moving up now from below, but Nocturne is right behind her, has vision on her. Vivian will get collapsed on here. Trevor trying to Q block her so that he can't get into through the wall. It will be a 2v2. Zesty Queso hitting the Alawi ult. Toru doing his best to kite it out, but gets pushed out very, very easily, and Vivian will just get cleaned up in the back line as Rowdy Fan gets the move over to Leah. And, Sejuani into Nocturne is not a good time if you're a Sejuani, so understandable there.
Yeah, I know it's just really disrespectful from Aatrox. I mean, just look at the scoreboard. Keep in mind, Aatrox didn't have that brutalizer going in it. Alawi already got a free reset. Alawi already reset, teleported back in with the Ruby Crystal and the Cloth Armor. So they have that stats advantage. And then the Aatrox just ults in with nothing. So that's never going to be in his favor. He was trying to force out the ulti trade, but never did. So that's just a really, really bad angle from Toru.
And Layla engaging again. We will see a really big Seraphine ult here, and we will see Galio go down, possibly Sivir as well. Sivir using the barrier, but Layla continuing to walk into the tower. Oh, and this might be a blunder. Oh, and Layla going down to the tower shot as Briar's cute feet just walks away, throws a boomerang. Vivian is going to pull and start the dragon. They do have advantage. Talia's moving over, but Trevor is nearby. He does have 6, but he does not have vision here. Probably not going to be able to contest this dragon, or at least we should hope he's not able to contest this dragon through 3 of them. He does hit the Nocturne ult. He is buying time. Hui's coming in. He's diving 1v3 and is able to clean up and steal the dragon. Oh, and that's a tough dragon loss. A 3v1 dive from the Nocturne kills the ADC Seraphine, steals the dragon, now running in circles, will get cleaned up by the Camille, but Vivian will get cleaned up by the Hui as well. Now we've got a level 4 Camille versus a level 7 Hui, and really not what you want to see. Again, these 50-50 dragon fights, terrible. We should not be doing them. There's mechanics built into the game that you deal more damage the less dragons you have. It's not relevant in this point because both of them did not have a dragon yet, but giving somebody the option to 50-50 a drag instead of just running them down and forcing them away is not the move for sure. Layla trading with Sergeant of Mithril here. She is down in XP, but has a Seraphine there to walk with her.
That's a really nice forward step from Layla
Oh,
there to just make sure that Galio can't be out of the way.
and
It does force the fight.
Toru's going to get dove top. I hesitate to even call it a dive as Zesty Queso just walks up, presses W, jumps on his head. And this Alawi will get at least 2 plates here, as well as cleaning up another couple of waves. And let's check in on the gold advantage top lane. Only 500 so far. Going to be approaching 1,000 if she's able to finish off another, but she is not going to overstay in greed. I do think she could have finished one more plate there, but prioritizing getting the reset, nothing wrong with that.
I think we are starting to see why Alawi's banned a game too, though. This is clearly not a matchup that Toru is confident in.
Yeah, and not going great for him so far as he's losing the 1v1s pretty continuously now. Seraphine still wave clearing, getting solo XP. Camille on Layla still kind of roaming around, and Sergeant of Mithril now 6 versus Camille 5. That not super impactful given that we don't have objectives up right now, but just not what you want to see. They can't win this fight right now with a Galio ult while Camille ult is offline. My back is sore hovering nearby. He does take the famous full team TP, which has been a common theme for PSR so far this season. In this case, only the PSR bot lane not having TP. So main weirdness is the junglers. We can definitely see it for top and mid, but they continue the weirdness into next game where they go with 4 TPs. So Rowdy fans stepping up with Trevor, getting some vision in the bot side jungle, but there's no camps to take, nothing to get here right now. HH bot lane happy to continue farming. Oh, but Talia steps up too far. We'll get collapsed on here, and Hui should be able to clean this up. Oh, but he misses. But he will be able to finish it off with the ulti. And unfortunately, I think, despite the fact that HH is already behind just in the 1v1s and in fighting, Alawi here taking the 2v1, pretty easily winning. HH kiting it out, but my back is sore will show up now to assist. I think what we're going to see is that really HH needed to win these 1v1s early because their comp is not as strong as PSR. PSR are able to Nocturne ult in, Galio ult in, they have Sivir to give them move speed, and HH really investing in this Camille pick potential that just has not materialized so far. They did get a great play at like 2 minutes, but now we've got a level 5 Camille versus what is after I think this wave or the next wave going to be a level 7 Galio. Sivir up in XP as well as CS on this Seraphine as well. And Alawi winning the top lane matchup, up 2 plates so far. Going to be 3 here, maybe even a 4th. Forcing the Aatrox out of lane again as he's chunked out and leaving. And PSR able to clean up all 6 grubs for free as they have no mid or top pressure.
Yeah, I think this just reveals closest thing would really be Aatrox, but Aatrox is very susceptible to getting CC'd, which PSR has a lot of. So there's really no consistent damage dealing, and you're looking at a full tanked and two bruisers with the Nocturne and the Alawi, and you're never going to touch the Hui or the Sivir, so really you're missing a lot of crucial damage, and you're trading it all for a lot of CC, which really just goes into the void.
Yeah, and to be fair, HH does have a lot of CC as well, but it's really more pick based. It's not as much team fight based. Obviously, the Seraphine ult is very impactful, but if they don't have reliable burst damage, then that pick potential is useless. And now we will see a Galio ult in. Vivian Dessous having to flash out, still gets hit by the Galio ult, gets taunted, makes it out with just a sliver over 100 HP. So no one dead yet, but PSR hard pressuring the tower. They have Alawi demolish procs. They've got 4 people standing there. Blitzsprite trying to get in, but will immediately get CC'd off and almost fucking completely burst, but able to slide out with just a sliver of HP. Trevor very happy to just sit down here and PvE while his team pressures mid lane as he is not needed. PSR not getting any kills, but removing the health bars from HH so much that they cannot participate in the game regardless.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a bit frustrating for PSR. They had 2 kills that were basically secured, but they just didn't land the crucial final abilities for either one. For the Sejuani kill, they just Hui just missed to the EQ, and that's would have been the kill if they just landed that. So it is definitely a bit frustrating, but overall they're still going to be happy with the end result.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, that's a QQ and an EQ going wide.
well, and I think PSR just happy to continue to push down towers. Their focus this whole season has been take a lot of TPs, get a lot of tower pressure. Toru, though, clearly very nervous stepping up to this Alawi, continuously trying to kite behind caster minions so that she cannot get an E on him. Will get grabbed immediately anyway. There's 2 tentacles in range, and Zesty Queso really demonstrating some nice mechanics on the Alawi as well. Lots of pressure. 101, not getting a ton of kills, but a ton of lane pressure. And let's see what the gold advantage. Oh my goodness, look at that. Almost a 2,500 gold advantage on this Alawi. She's up 30 CS, 1 kill, 1 assist, and has almost a full item advantage over this Aatrox right now. Very big, very scary. That turret gold is not to be messed with. Now, PSR just setting up in the bush, guarding the Rift Herald, happy to take it at their own leisure. They're very, very much in the driver's seat so far this game. They have 6 scrubs, they have 2 dragons, and they can kind of just lock HH into their base now, keep farming their towers, keep farming their jungle camps, and keep building gold advantage. Galio looking for an engage here, but no minions to follow up on. Both teams posturing at each other quite a bit. Rowdy Fan will get the T1 bot, but PSR pretty confident in the 4v5 at this point. Sivir's over here CSing mid, and all of HH is just clustered around trying to stop this Alawi push. All of these players, though, everyone on screen, Sejuani, Layla on the Camille, Toru on the Aatrox, even Seraphine was there for quite a while. All of them splitting gold, splitting XP as the carries for PSR, in this case the carries being the Sivir and the Hui, even though we could definitely call Nocturne a carry as well. Getting solo XP, getting a ton of CS, continuing to generate advantage. Toru now engaging into a 3v1 because he does have tower advantage. Has to pop ult, isn't able to get any kills, just barely saves the tower. Oh, and we did miss a pick on the Hui there, bot, as advertised. We'll get some some Hui picks later in the game. Galio ulting to assist with the engage from Nocturne. That's a very big Seraphine ult, but again, HH just does not have the damage to follow up on that Seraphine ult at all. Trevor, my back is sore, will go down to the turret shot as Aatrox gets the last knockup. But again, PSR going 2 for 2, but generating a ton of pressure, continuing to push into HH in their towers. Camille engaging, doesn't have enough damage to finish the Galio. We will see a TP from the Hui coming in for the PSR side. Layla now sprinting out of the engage. Rowdy Fan face tanking a ton of damage. We might see Rowdy Fan immediately go down here. He does have burn on him still. Oh, and absolutely heartbreaking for HH as another PSR member makes it out with less than 50 HP. Still not taking this Rift Herald as we just see a lot of skirmishing top lane. That T2 for HH just one single touch from going down. Now, Alawi again pulling three of the HH team members down to try to collapse her. And even here, we do have damage from the Aatrox. We do have a little bit of CC, a little bit of potential from Layla, but Zesty Queso really looking forward to getting engaged on here. The 3v1 into Alawi is the worst 3v1 you can get. So still posturing aggressively, standing on the HH pink ward. The trade will start here. She does get the pull on the Camille, gets the ult off, immediately smashes the Camille clone. Still engaging on Toru in the back line. Briar's cute feet walking up from the back, ulting immediately, stepping up, killing Camille. Alawi still trying to heal. Aatrox still trying to get enough burst to finish her, but not able to do it. And Sivir just gets to clean up the Camille and Toru on the Aatrox for free as Alawi soaks all the damage and heals right through it.
Yeah, I think that's just a gross misunderstanding of what their job is supposed to be for how to lock down this Alawi. The key thing is you just need to never let her ulti in the first place. In that scenario, they kind of started by going in, but they immediately had to disengage the second the ult came through. And that's just clear blunder. The thing they need to do is they need to start with an initial CC and make sure they get the Sejuani 4 proc on the E before they use the Sejuani ulti to maximize the CC.
Yeah, so that they can layer
If
it.
you do that, you can really chain that with the Aatrox knockups in tandem with the Camille knockup, and that's how you lock down the Alawi.
Yeah.
However,
As advertised, Nocturne ults in, Galio ults on his head. We see another huge Seraphine ult, but just not enough damage from HH. They are eventually able to kill the Galio, but forced to disengage once again. They're very chunked out. Now my back is sore. We'll get to walk up. Oh, and just not quite finish the Sejuani. He will get caught out here by the Talia, and my Bacchusaur will go down. Dragon is up, but all of HH is incredibly chunked. They're not feeling confident enough to step up here. And Zesty Queso could definitely still take this 1v4 fight. He is taking quite a few... oh, and he takes too many tower shots. Doesn't get the ult off, to your point. Without that ult, it's a very, very different fight. And signs of life from HH as they will almost equalize the kill lead. Still down almost 7k gold, but they should get a bounty here on this dragon. I don't see any way they lose this one, so that's good. First dragon of the game for the side of HH. They are pinging Baron, but oh no, that's PSR pinging Baron. HH definitely has no ability to go take the Baron right now, but a good gold swing, got some good shutdowns there. We're able to take a dragon, but again, the name of this game is towers, and you'll see we're missing a T2 here. We're missing a T2 here. We're about halfway through this one. PSR starting to position towards Baron. They can definitely bait it here, but I still, despite the advantage, I don't want to see PSR step up here and start a Baron that they can't finish. Starting this Baron here into a potential 5v5 would be a huge throw from PSR. And just not necessary. They can continue to siege. They can continue to pressure objectives. They don't need to force any objectives here, especially one like Baron that's going to chunk them out and potentially make it a coin flip. Definitely Trevor feeling very confident in potentially coin flipping a smite, as he's already stolen 2 objectives away from HH so far this series. But it does look like PSR will start the dragon. We've got all their team members in pit. HH is here. They do see it. They're stepping up, looking to force them off. Oh, and this is not what we want to see from PSR either. Not finishing the objective. They will peel out and take down Toru. That puts them at a pretty big advantage, but another huge Seraphine ult, and we should see some cleanup here. Zesty Queso not quite in the middle of the fight yet. Oh, misses the ultimate, doesn't get anything for it. The Galio ult seeking to keep the Alawi alive, but she will go down to burn. And we do see a 2 for 3. 3 of HH going down for 2 of PSR. But PSR sitting on a lot of shutdowns, a lot more gold advantage. So overall, not a bad trade for HH despite going 2 for 3. They did stop the Baron. And really, like I said, that's just not what we wanted to see. We either needed to see pressure from PSR where they take the towers, or we needed a full commit to that Baron and just commit to burning it, commit to winning the smite battle. Backing out instead, and it goes fairly equal, but just no reason to give any of that gold to Team HH here.
Yeah, and I'm looking at these itemizations, and my thoughts is some people didn't read the patch notes. We got a Warmox for Sejuani. They clearly haven't read the last three patch notes. And they also have Zeeks, which just got nerfed quite a bit for the entire reason you build Zeeks.
And we'll see another big engage from PSR here, easily cleaning up Camille, Seraphine, and Talia, all the squishy targets on the side of HH. And now HH will be in a 2v5 defense. Uh, PSR dropping the Rift Herald. They do have a teleport in. Aatrox trying to engage, but oh, and he will take down the Galio, but not without giving both his life and Sejuani's life. And this might just be the end of the game. Trevor dunking Rift Herald back into the tower that's already down
Yeah,
again.
definitely a bit of a misclick there.
Little small misclick. Oh, and Shelly gets stopped on minions, and Shelly will not get a charge on the Nexus towers. A huge Seraphine ult coming in, and we may see Alawi and Nocturne cleaned up. Alawi flashing out. Nocturne goes down on the side of PSR.
Yeah,
And
the
just a
thing about
slight
it is that
overcommit.
that's all we're getting from that. I definitely would have liked to see some more shenanigans with the Rift Herald. I would have almost liked to see him drive it backwards so he could get the crash onto the Nexus towers. The reason it didn't do the charge was because it doesn't get the reset from just killing the in hit. That's the key thing. So it didn't have the turret
Yeah,
charge
that
into the
wasted
tower.
charge into the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. And Zesty Queso getting collapsed on here. He's running towards the tower and will get cleaned up, and that's another big shutdown for HH. So we are seeing signs of life from HH, but really just PSR making a couple of kind of questionable plays here. They
Yeah,
do still have a significant advantage. They still are up about 6K gold, so definitely don't count them out by any means. They're still firmly in the driver's seat, and I do think that their comp is still much better than the PSR comp.
yeah.
Um,
And that is a clear
or
example
sorry,
of
than the
a
HH comp.
very clean way of CC chaining onto the Alawi. You'd start with a very simple CC to set up the Sejuani for her fully stacked E. That's a much cleaner way of doing the CC chain.
Yeah, and it definitely worked out a lot better for them there. Sejuani and Layla on Camille getting engaged on by PSR. Layla in the back, but will get the Camille fancy feet out. Sejuani and Talia pushed up still. They will retreat to their side of the base, and Camille will get cleaned up by all of PSR. PSR now gets the 4v5 onto their third dragon of the game. And honestly, I would like to see a steal attempt here, but I don't think we will. I think HH is willing to drop it. But regardless, we see this is what we want. Galio stepping up, threatening to CC the jungler, keep them out of the pit. No reason to 50-50 this, ever. No reason to 50-50 that objective. Have one tank, someone with CC, or one damage threat zone the jungler, and the rest of you take the objective for free. So PSR doing a nice job on that objective securement. They do have a ton of pressure here. They could look to make a Baron play again, but really what at least in my opinion, should be doing is looking for a pick before transitioning into the Baron. Now we will see Trevor move bot lane, which seems like an insane play until we remember that he has teleport, until we remember that his teleport is down right now. So this may actually be an insane play from Trevor as he is sitting bot lane with Baron up. HH moving into position on the Baron, but apparently PSR feeling very confident that Zesty Queso can 1v4 this and prevent them from doing Baron. We will
Well,
see
the thing
Nocturne
is
move
with
up
Baron
now.
is there's no real Baron damage coming here. It's a massive error in terms of itemization for HH because they just don't have Baron damage. Who's
Yeah,
going to
they
damage the Baron?
even if they started it, they would still be working on it now. Yeah, fair enough. Uh,
That's what I mean by mistakes in terms of itemization. We have Seraphine building Enchanter for some reason, which I don't really know why. Like,
yeah,
what is the point of even
definitely.
building Enchanter? You haven't been linking up with the Aatrox, and you're not planning on linking up with Aatrox, so there's no real value in the Enchanter build.
Yeah, and we will see the Seraphine get dove there under tower. Yeah, and I'm heavily inclined to agree with you. They don't have a really ADC or any kind of hyper carry that's going to benefit from that Enchanter build from Seraphine anyway. So why not bring the damage? Especially when the only consistent team fight CC and damage that you have on the side of HH is those Seraphine abilities. So I'm aligned on that one.
Yeah, I just really hate everything they've done for itemization. I think 90% of it is wrong.
Yeah, and Trevor's still down here splitting bot. Looks like he wants to bring the split put threat bot until his TP comes back up. He's got about 30 more seconds on it. Rowdy Fan does have TPs. SDKSO does have TP. PSR now kind of doing what we talked about 5 minutes ago of just denying HH, keeping them pushed into base, continuing to farm their camps, continuing to generate gold advantage. They are still sitting at just around a 6k gold lead. Looks like we are engaging on the Alawi, which, again, I absolutely hate. Why are we engaging on Alawi? PSR starting the Baron, completely ignoring that Alawi is getting engaged on because she doesn't need any help. We do have Rowdy Fan on the flank here, trying to do zoning, trying to do damage. Sejuani ult comes out early. We are engaging Rowdy Fan, but Aatrox already chunked down to just a couple hundred HP. And PSR, again, they just have the comp advantage. You press R on Nocturne, press R on Galio, it's generally pretty effective. We do see another Seraphine ult, but this time everyone splits. The only person hit by the Seraphine ult is the Galio. And still a lot of people still up on the PSR side, but all of them very chunked. Again, if we had a Seraphine damage build here, we might have seen some of those PSR players actually go down, and PSR might be able to get a Baron here. Or sorry, HH. God, I keep
Why
swipping
does
them.
Camille have Sterix?
Uh, yeah. That is one of the questions of all time for sure.
Do they not know what the item does? Do they not know it scales with bonus HP and base AD, something you won't have as a support? Oh, did I
And
finally bring back? No, it's a, never mind.
PSR finally starting the Baron. They are TPing in. That'll be Hui on the TP. Galio walking up again, and this should be a free Baron. HH not moving to contest at all. We will see Dragon Soul for Team PSR spawning in just a moment as well. Hold on.
Thornmail.
Put those objective
Why do
timers
we have
back
a
on.
completed Thornmail? Why? Why is there a completed Thornmail? We are losing to Shopkeeper here. Read. Pull out a calculator. Just do math. Why are we taking? Why?
Galio getting engaged on here, and we will see a nice
Why?
toss from the Talia, and they are able to successfully burst the Galio. I actually do like that play against a Galio, a Shen, anyone with global or near global ults. A lot of times, have them be the one you engage on so that they can't back up the fight. We
But
will see a
Galio
Nocturne
doesn't
engage
have
here.
that
We
ulti
will see a
because
big collapse on the Nocturne, but his spell shield's enough to get him away, and PSR just doesn't have, or HH just doesn't have the damage. They're all split, running different directions. Zesty Queso still looking for an ult. Finally gets the ult off, but Toru is massively in the lead on health. Despite that, he's disengaging, and the rest of PSR will come around the back. Sivir able to just clean up the fight. Zesty Queso now teleporting in says, I'm just going to end the game. I've got 30 seconds to do it. I should be good to go. And I think he's right. We do have a Baron. We have a nice big juicy wave, and this should be the end of the game. Yeah, another kind of wild game, but not quite as crazy as game two, which was game one for us. But PSR using the same strategy both times. I think they definitely had the advantage on draft in game one. But
yeah,
just a lot of
they definitely
misplay
performed
all
a
around.
lot better game one. Game one they played really well, and I feel like it was the opponents that were giving them the win. I feel like it was a lot more based off of them using their counter to their fullest. Game two just felt like no one knew what they were doing.
Yeah, game two slash game one, it's a little bit hard to keep it straight at this point. Um, but a wild series nonetheless. That'll be 2-0 for PSR versus HH. PSR, I think, still in the top slot as they are undefeated in series, not in games, but in series. And looking good, still playing some real weird stuff, which is what to be expected when you see any of Trevor's teams. But that'll wrap it for this cast. So Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the commentary and explaining to me what champion names are and what items do, because that's good for me to know. But that'll do it here. All right. We'll see y'all on the next one.